Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now unfortunately I don't bear good news, rather bad news, as we have lost another sister in the hands of a South African man. Now a lady called MICAELA GOEIMAN, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing her name correctly, but I'll put it up on the screen together with her name, with her picture I meant, was unalived by her boyfriend. A 34-year-old suspect has been arrested by Naledi SAPS in connection with a fatal shooting that occurred in Mdeni Extension 2 on Wednesday evening. According to police spokesperson Sergeant Anthony Kolo, officers responded to a complaint of murder at approximately 6 p.m. Upon arrival at the scene, police were directed by the boyfriend of the deceased to a body lying in the passage of the house. The suspect allegedly confessed on the scene to shooting the victim in the head. Police immediately arrested him for murder. During a search of the premises, officers recovered a black firearm, one spent cartridge, and one projectile from the scene. And I quote, "Paramedics declared the woman dead on the scene. Her body was later transported to a government mortuary," said Sergeant Kolo. The Lady SAPS is continuing with investigations. Now, this is sad news, looking at the fact that about a week ago we lost Olerato Mongale in the hands of another man. Now, this raises the concern that has been raised over years now about the safety of South African women in the hands of South African men. Now, this news didn't blow up as it should have. Maybe people are just tired of having to say RIP, or maybe news that concern the death of a woman tend to blow up if it's something that men can argue about. For example, the news of Olerato Mongale. A lot of men were arguing that women should stop liking things. I say this with quotation marks. Women should stop liking things and they should stop going out and all those stuffs. Hence why it blew up. A lot of people were debating. A lot of people were saying, oh, women just like things. Oh, women, what? It was just talking about how it's a fault of a woman. But in this case, it's straightforward. A man shot a woman in the forehead. He shot a woman in the forehead and it didn't blow up. A lot of people are not saying much. But on TikTok, people are talking. There are a few videos that were made on this entire issue. And this is what some people are saying. As women, we need to close the country, shut down until they hear our crying. This is very true. I think we should do some form of strike to emphasize how important and serious this is, because things are starting to get out of hand. Every other week is RIP woo-woo, justice for woo-woo, and it is starting to get very tiring. Now, another user said, "Yo guys, this one time my colleague, who we had been pretty close with, called me at 5 a.m. and because I love my sleep, I did not answer. Turns out when she called me, her then man was beating her up, wanting to unalive her. That hun came back to work like nothing happened. Her body was bruised in pain, but nobody knew except she and I. I never liked that dude ever since. I also feel guilty for not answering my phone. She went back, by the way. Thank God now she's seeing someone else. Now, congratulations to your sister for being able to move on and leave a man who beats her up." And yeah, it's sad. We should be our sister's keeper. You should always, be there for a sister who is in such situations. And I would advise women to always leave a man who beats them up. I mean, some do stay because of financial situations, and maybe they're just trying to make sure that their children have a full family, but I'd advise you to always leave. Another user said, brothers, come on, why are we not protecting our women anymore? And it's unfortunate that men like him who say things like this do not get great comments, from other men. It's either they're going to be called simps, or, they're not going to be respected, or they're just going to be called not man enough. Because for some reason, in order for you to look like a man, you need to beat up women. Like, to me, it doesn't make sense. And another user said, scariest thing is it might be me tomorrow. What a horrible time to be living in SA. And this is so true. You don't need to have a boyfriend in order for you to get raped or unalived by a man in South Africa. You just need to be a woman who's leaving for a man to come up to you and just do atrocious things on you. I mean, Oli Rato went on a first date and she was unalived. Many more other women were just leaving, walking on the streets. They were unalived. I've seen this other video of a lady. She was at the bathroom. She was taking videos. And there was this other man. He was literally peeping in the bathroom like this. So even spaces that were meant for us are no longer safe. Yeah. And this other lady was like, yo guys, every morning, every day. And this is so true. And it's exactly how I reacted when I found out this news. I mean, I know it happened like last week, and it's not yet well known, but even when I found out today, I was like, yo, we can never breathe without having to say rest in peace to a sister in South Africa. Like, it's just too much at this point. It's too much. It's too much. It's just too much. And another user said, on behalf of every woman alive, we are asking for forgiveness to men. We don't deserve such brutality and cruelty. I don't know if we should be asking for forgiveness, because based on what I know, women didn't do anything wrong, but it seems as if we have to ask for forgiveness because it's just not stopping. It's not stopping. Every week, it's another woman. It's another girl child. It's just a lot. Maybe we should ask for forgiveness. Maybe. But... And another user said, on behalf of every woman alive, we are asking for forgiveness to men. We don't deserve such brutality and cruelty. I don't know if we should be asking for forgiveness because based on what I know, women didn't do anything wrong. But it seems as if we have to ask for forgiveness because it's just not stopping. It's not stopping. Every week, it's another woman. It's another girl child. It's just a lot. Maybe we should ask for forgiveness. Maybe. But... And somebody said, Lapho, our President Ramaphosa is so quiet about all these killings of our sisters, yes. And this is so true because, this is such a huge issue. It's so serious, guys. And the president is quiet. I mean, maybe he's busy with president, work, but he's like the leader of a country, and we do expect him to say something about this issue because it's really getting out of hand. Though last year, no, it's not last year, 2023, he did say something about how a man who is accused of murder or unaliving a woman should be placed in jail without any bail. And I remember that I had this other male friend who's definitely no longer my friend. He said something like, why does it have to be a woman? What about a man? I don't know if he still holds the same view, but if he knows what's going on now, he would definitely understand why it has to be a woman. Because there's femicide in South Africa. Women are getting unalived every day. It's just... rest in peace, rest in peace, what? And I'm afraid that in a few years to come, South Africa might end up like South Korea. And somebody said, Lapho our President Ramaphosa is so quiet about all these killings of our sisters, yes. And this is so true because, like, this is such a huge issue. It's so serious, guys. And the president is quiet. I mean, maybe he's busy with president, work, but he's like the leader of a country, and we do expect him to say something about this issue because it's really getting out of hand. Though last year, no, it's not last year, 2023, he did say something about how a man who is accused of murder or unaliving a woman should be placed in jail without any bail. And I remember that I had this other male friend who's definitely no longer my friend. He said something like, why does it have to be a woman? What about a man? I don't know if he still holds the same view, but if he knows what's going on now, he would definitely understand why it has to be a woman. Because there's femicide in South Africa. Women are getting unalived every day. It's just rest in peace. Oh, rest in peace, no what. And I'm afraid that in a few years to come, South Africa might end up like South Korea. Because in South Korea, men and women are not clashing because of such issues. Women are like, we don't want to engage with men, we don't want to have babies with men, we don't want to have sex with them, we just don't want anything to do with men. And I see this coming to South Africa. And while that is happening in South Korea, the birth rate is declining. It's becoming a dying population. Imagine that happening in South Africa. Because I don't think women are going to. And Utobeka said, I think we should invite other males of other races to help us fight this war. A black woman is in trouble in the hands of their own males. We really need their support, and I think that can work. Secondly, if you are a black woman, there is no reason for you to vote because you are on your own anyway. Thirdly, we need to come together as females, support one another. There is power in unity. Now, the issue of inviting other males from other races, it would work, but would they want to work with us? Because you have to understand that South Africa is a very race-centered country. There's so much racism in South Africa. So it's hard for me to imagine a white man working with a black woman in order to fight this issue. And because in South Africa it's still a taboo to find, it's still something very shocking to find a white man marrying a white woman. I mean, it is happening, but it's still something like, what? Wow, you get what I'm trying to say. And on the issue of not voting, yeah, like there's like our issue is not being addressed enough. Our safety is not being considered at all. And unity, yes, as women we need to unite. We really need to unite more than ever. We need to unite. We need to support one another. Hence why I said you have to be your sister's keeper. We need to. And another user said, awaseko amadoda sekusele ihlanya zodwa, which translates to they're no longer men, only mad people are left, or crazy people are left, which I understand looking at the state of South Africa. And another user said, as women we already deal with so much, now we must fear going outside. Yasinda lento. Like, yasinda means it's heavy. This thing is so heavy. It's burdensome. And another user said, senzeni kanti bafethu, womalume bezingane zethu, wobhuti bethu, izingane zethu zolelwa abobani kanti masenisibulala. And mind you, I don't speak any of these languages, so I just understand a bit, but I don't speak Zulu. But it translates to, what did we do, brothers, uncles? While you are busy unloving us, who's going to take care of our children? And it's how do I put it? This reflects the nature of a woman, because Even through all this, she's worrying about her children. She's like, okay, but then what about my kids? Because this lady, the lady wasn't alive. She had kids. She had kids. And now who's going to take care of those kids? Who's going to take care of those kids? Like when they grow up, how do you think it feels to grow up without a mother? How do you think it feels? Now these kids have to be subjected to the same thing. Now I'm sending my deepest condolences to her family and may her soul rest in peace. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Bye guys.